I gotta admit, there's something really impressive about the fact that they took a show that ran for 15 seasons, so you'd think the show would be boring by now. And yet, 3 seasons into this sequel series, I'm still having a great time. What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Criminal Minds Evolution Season 3, Episode 1, Swimmer's Calculus. Pretty solid start to this new season. Obviously having Elias Voight still be the main focus, I personally do like. I know some people are not as much of a fan of the through-line story, since Criminal Minds was a lot more of an episodic type of show before. But personally, I do like it. I think it really gives a lot of weight and also intensity to Elias's character, especially now that he has a big connection with the team, with Rossi being looked into for his attack at the prison as well. And especially since I've been watching NCIS recently, and now on season 22, almost, of nothing but episodic stories, it's nice to have a little bit of a switch up in a show like this. Plus, they still do have the episodic style, with each individual unsub featuring for each episode, but I do appreciate the fact that they are all connected to this bigger overarching picture, because it does keep me invested throughout the entire season, instead of dropping off halfway through because suddenly we have some random story that I don't really care about as much. But as far as the unsub in this one, don't really know where any of that's going to go. It does seem like he might be connected to Sicarius' network. I do have a lot of questions as well about the mother of this family that got taken, because it did seem like she was very aware of what to do in this situation. As far as I could tell, we didn't really learn much about her backstory, why she was so in control of this situation, why she was so unfazed by a lot of what happened. Like, her husband gets shot right in front of her, and she's mostly unfazed by that. And then on top of that, they give her this moment at the end whenever it seems like she might be dying, has a glimpse of the afterlife, her husband welcoming her over, and she decides she's going to stay. So it does feel like they're giving a lot of importance to her character, but as far as I can tell, there wasn't much else there outside of the fact that she was kidnapped by the unsub for this case. So we'll see if she comes back later. If not, I do feel like it was kind of weird to give her so much importance for this episode. But on top of that, we also have a lot of interesting moving pieces for the team. I don't know if Tyler's going to be leaving anytime soon. I'm pretty sure he's not, because he's still one of the faces on, I guess, the poster for the show on Paramount Plus. So I'm assuming he's still going to be here throughout the season, so I don't know what excuse they're going to have as far as why he's not going to Alabama, even though that's where he's been reassigned. I hope it's not something stupid, where like they circumvented the rules of the FBI just to make sure he could stay with the team. But also seeing Garcia have this connection with Voight where she did see something inside of him. And I think we saw this a bit in the first season as well with him, where even though he is a psychopath and he does have a lot of those tendencies that make you think he doesn't really have any emotions like a normal human would, that doesn't seem to be the case with him at times. This family that he built in the first season that didn't see any side of him that hinted towards him being a psychopath, and now Garcia is saying that she did see something when she looked into his eyes. It does raise a lot of questions about him, and I do wonder how much more we're going to learn about him this season, as well as what sort of plans he has set up, because it does sound like maybe he had a hand in this unsub, what he was doing in this episode, and then also maybe even set up this attack on himself in the prison. So all of that has really captured my interest and made me excited to see more. And again, it's something that I think this show has done really well since it's come back, is provide a lot of interesting mysteries that, like I said, it doesn't lose me halfway through the season anymore like I do feel like it used to when I was watching toward the end of the original series. But I think that'll do it for this episode, so on to the next one. I'll see you there. And now episode 2, The Zookeeper. Man, who knew Foggy led such an interesting life outside of doing his lawyer business? I'm just kidding. It is funny to see him being such a different character, though, from Foggy on Daredevil. But overall, I thought this episode was really good. First of all, with Voight, I think this is probably where I have the most interest, because now we're dealing with a concept that I'm not really sure where they're going to go with it, but it's intrigued me. This idea that maybe the brain injury that he dealt with, maybe it's bringing back the empathy that he couldn't feel before, because he was a psychopath before. Or are they implying that maybe he always had this, but they just assumed he was a psychopath? Because again, Penelope did suggest that she saw something in him that he shouldn't really possess. So I'm not really sure where they're going with this. I find it all very interesting though. His amnesia, I'm not entirely sure if it's an act or not. I'm leaning toward the idea that it's not an act, but I don't necessarily think this wasn't a part of his plan either. I don't know how he would plan to get amnesia. I don't know how that makes any sense at all. But I do get the feeling that he wanted to be attacked. He wanted to maybe get dealt some nearly fatal blow, possibly in an attempt to gain some sympathy and maybe convince a judge or somebody to let him out of prison. And in doing so, maybe it worked out even better than he expected it to. and now he's got amnesia and he's not even the same person anymore. But of course, there's also the idea that he could be getting his memories back and he could go back to who he was before, even if they do let him out of prison. So I don't know. I don't know exactly where this is going to go next. If he really is this good to where he can fool not just the FBI, but also these brain scans. I mean, if he was actually this good, it would almost be a little too unbelievable to think that he could go this far with his lies and everything. But as far as the unsub in this episode, the Zookeeper, it was kind of hit or miss for me. Some parts were better than others. They were definitely trying to make a statement about some of these girls who are essentially blamed for their lifestyle and looked over because of their line of work. And for what that was, I thought it was done fine. I've definitely seen it a lot more preachy in other shows before. But the one part of this that I did cling on to a little bit more because of the state of the world now is the fact that we see the Zookeeper using AI to deep fake not just her voice, but also all of these pictures. And of course, we've already dealt with a little bit of that because of BAU Gate and all of that. But I really do like the fact that they're hammering this home about how dangerous this can be. Because as many people want to act like it's just some goofy little thing, and oh, let me put my information and my picture into ChatGPT and get a cute little cartoon of myself. As many people want to act like it's not that big a deal, it's just a fun little thing. This is the dangers of it. This is the danger of giving your information to some AI program that can easily be used to fake certain things about you. It can be used by evil people who can take you and then you can put up all these stories and make it seem like you're perfectly fine even though they've captured you. Like there's so many realms of possibilities of this to go bad, and people just want to overlook that because, oh, well, it's fun, isn't it? So I always do really appreciate it whenever a show shows that side of it, especially since there was an episode of NCIS where they treat it as like a goofy little thing. It is 100% not a goofy little thing, so let's start treating it with the proper caution that it deserves. But the final thing to talk about is the fact that it seems like Will is now dead because of an aneurysm. I don't really know how to feel about this. I mean, I remember vaguely, it's been a while since I watched the first season, but I remember he was dealing with some sort of issue that made it seem like he wouldn't be around too much longer, but they managed to push through that. So it feels weird that I don't remember seeing him much, if at all, in season 2, and now here he is in the second episode of this season, and he's dead. It just seems like an odd choice, so either this is going to connect to the overarching story somehow. Like, I don't know if there's any sort of poison that might mimic an aneurysm, but whatever the case, this feels weird for him to just die in the second episode out of nowhere because of some happenstance. Oh yeah, this thing from the first season, it's come back and it killed him. So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do with it. Maybe the actor just couldn't be around for the rest of the season, so instead of just having him be off on assignment or something like that, away from everything, they just decided, if we kill him off, we don't have to worry about trying to bring the actor back anymore. That's the only thing I could think of. But we'll see where the rest of this season goes. They've definitely got me excited so far. But with all that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that review. I hope you enjoyed it. First and foremost, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I love having discussions with people, so whatever your thoughts were, whether you agree or disagree with me, please leave them down below. Obviously, no spoilers. Also, if you did find yourself enjoying this review and you want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I also have a gaming channel as well as a channel where I talk about soccer, so if you want to give those a follow as well, that would be much appreciated. And lastly, if you want to help me improve upon the quality of these channels, I do have a Patreon. All of this is in the description below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.